Hi there. I had a request to do a video about Daith piercing, and so I just wanted to go through what my experience was, and if it's helpful, great. First of all, I wasn't sure if I was getting migraines. I thought they were probably tension headaches. I had looked up Daith piercing before, and specifically they talk about migraines. The reason I wasn't sure if I really was getting migraines is because I was going to work anyway and just going through my life. But I would almost always, almost constantly have a headache several times a week, to the point where I went through a little bottle of ibuprofen in about a month. And that's when I realized I needed to do something different. So last Friday, my headache that I was experiencing was all on one side, and I woke up with it, and it got to the point where I was feeling nauseous, but I still went to work and I still did my day. I just felt awful. I got home from work. It was about 5 o'clock, and by then I was just shutting down. I felt like I couldn't even drive. I just was feeling really sick. Well, during the day that day, my sister had gone to get a Daith piercing. She had been in bed for 8 days with a migraine, and she went in and had it done, and she had such a good experience even within that short amount of time that she did it in the morning. And I was talking to her by that afternoon. She said that she was feeling so much better, and it really did help her. So that's where I reached out to the person who did her piercing. It's a lady that has a piercing shop. That's what she does. But for the last 5 years, she specifically has been doing Daith piercing for migraines. And she even has what she calls Migraine Mondays, where she has a discount on Daith piercing specifically for migraines. So I reached out to this lady and asked her what she thought, if my headaches would even be helped by Daith piercing. And she said that migraines are usually genetic, and that there's a really good chance that this would help me, even though I wasn't entirely sure whether I was experiencing migraines or not. Mostly because I've heard that migraines just lay you flat out on your back, and I just power through my headaches, and I just keep working. I just feel terrible doing it. So I went ahead and went in. I had my husband drive me in because I wasn't feeling up to driving even. But when I arrived, it was pretty quick. I just signed a consent form, and then we were ready to go. I didn't actually watch the procedure. I knew that the basics, that you're going to put a needle in there to put the first piercing, and then put the jewelry. And as far as people want to know, how does it feel getting the piercing in itself? And the pain lasted about as long as a breath in and a breath out. That's how long the actual pain was. But my headache intensity was so much stronger than the actual pain of getting it pierced. So even though I could feel it, it still wasn't as strong as the actual headache pain was. So then by the time they were doing the other side, I was already noticing a difference. One of the things that is really common in Daith piercing is if you have one side of the head that you're feeling more pain than the other, that ear will actually bleed more. And I don't know why it's like that, but I knew that that was the case. So in the case where my right side was where all of my pain was, is just my right side, they actually did my right side first. And within just a few seconds, I could feel my headache start drifting away. It was like it started here and just started drifting away and away. By the time they were doing the second piercing, now I didn't have any pain on the left side of my head, so I did notice the piercing pain itself a little bit more, but it still didn't last longer than a breath in and out. That's how long the actual pain of the piercing felt. Now they do use numbing cream or whatever they use to make it so you don't feel it as much as you would otherwise. By the time they pierced the second one, all I had left with pain was right down the center. So all of the pain on my right side was gone. There was just a little bit left in the center. But I don't know time-wise, I didn't look at my watch, but probably within just a few minutes, my nausea was gone. And it was weird because without the nausea and without so much pain, I felt lighter. Not lightheaded, but just like my whole body felt lighter. I was so shocked to have that intense pain just float away and be gone. So not all of it was gone yet, but so much of it was gone. About an hour later, my muscles all started to relax. It's a lot of like the sensation of sitting in a hot tub when you just, all of your muscles just start relaxing. That happened about an hour later. I think the headache of the pain of my headache, the intensity was causing all of my muscles to tighten up, and I had no idea how much tension I was holding in all of my muscles. So when that pain started to go away, by an hour later, even the pain down the center of my head was gone. So I had no headache at all. I mean, I've tried everything, Excedrin and Tylenol, ibuprofen, and nothing really makes it go away. It's like I take it, but then I still have a headache and there's nothing that makes it go away. So I just can't do anything else. But when that headache was gone, my whole body just relaxed. And I was at a restaurant. I started kind of falling asleep. My whole body was so relaxed that's what the sensation was. It was just really relaxed. And then over the course of the next day, still no headache. And here I am. That was Friday and today's Monday. And I've not had a headache for that long. And it is so exciting for me. So what is the aftercare? I'm just going to show you what they gave me as aftercare instructions. I am aware that different piercing places have different aftercare instructions. So I'm not going to say somebody's right or somebody's wrong. I'm just going to show you the method that I was given. So first you have this could be dead sea salt or sea salt, not iodized salt, not Himalayan salt, but you're just looking at this. You can usually get at a bulk food. So just dead sea salt or sea salt. Sea salt works fine. And about 2 tablespoons for a cup of water, and you just mix it. And I just put it in this so that I could easily use it. Twice a day, you're going to soak a cotton ball, and I just get it nice and wet. And I do this in the morning before I take a shower. And I'm just going to put that right in my ear. And it does a couple things. First of all, it is cleaning your ear, but the salts are drying any thing out of your ear. It's going to loosen up any dried blood that you might have, any oozing that you might have had. So you're going to do that with both of your ears. And you leave that on for, it says 5 minutes to 60 minutes. So really you can do this as long as you want to. Like I said, I take a shower with these in, and then you're not going to be getting any shampoo in your ears. And I just let it soak in there while I do my makeup, and just by the time I'm all done getting ready, then I pull them out. So they've been kind of just soaking in there, and it really does clean it up without having to scrub it or anything. So that's the one method that I use. It's just a saline solution. It's just a really salty water. And then I find this is easier. And then you also do it at night. So at night, I put this in my ear for about 20 minutes in the evening. And then you don't have to do this next part, but it's one of the things that I do. So their suggestion was to use tea tree oil. I just got this on Amazon. And what I do after it's been soaking is I just dip my Q-tip in there. And I do usually use 2 Q-tips, one for each ear. And then these have a lot of antimicrobial qualities to it, tea tree oil. So I'm just basically going to kind of put that ointment in there, and then it'll pick up any little crusties I might have had in my right around there. So that at that point you can also move your earring around if you want. You can move it up and down. And because my ears are really clean, there's nothing on my Q-tip, because really I've already cleaned them this morning. But by the time I get to this evening, if there's been any oozing, then that will clean it up and take care of it. But there's, because of the anti-inflammatory and antibacterial qualities in tea tree oil, that's why I use this. You can use antibacterial soap and wash it, but this basically is the same thing. It's antibacterial. But the oil itself, some people are a little more sensitive, so you can make it less concentrated with a carrier oil. I'm not really sensitive to it, so I just use it just like that. So that's my aftercare that I do, and both ears look pretty good. I don't have any swelling. As far as the actual feeling, I